Hello and welcome. This is Ayana Leahy, and I'm so very happy that you are here with me in this week's episode of Be One, Be You. We are diving into the theme, ending how you shut down to love. When I look out into the world and I see all the despair and suffering that is there, and looking back over 45 years of working in groups and one-on-one with clients, I recognize and want to honor how we are taught how to shut down to the very essence of our true being. We end up creating battles in our life from deep within ourselves of unresolved opposites that exist within sight of us. The battle oftentimes is not understood, and we can't even recognize it until we begin to slow down into being with ourself and paying attention to the repetitive cycles and repetitive experiences that we go through. Perhaps it shows up in a relationship that you have a cycle where a relationship reaches a pinnacle and can't go beyond a certain point. Maybe a relationship collapses. Maybe you find yourself shutting down in your relationship and other situations. Perhaps you have a reoccurring injury that happens different parts of your body, but nevertheless, there's a similar theme each time. Maybe you have a weight gain, weight loss dilemma. Maybe you swing with your emotions, shooting up and down, going into extremes. Maybe you are open to your creativity sometimes and then other times shut it down. Perhaps you have a creative or professional goal that you want to reach, and you keep almost getting there and not quite being able to step through that door. And you've oftentimes have wondered, why can't I get there? We have something within inside of ourself called sanskaras. It's an ancient word, and it describes inner patterns, impressions, imprints that are in your psyche, the inner dwelling place, the inner resonance of your thinking and feeling self. Sanskar patterns can manifest psychologically, emotionally, and physically. And these patterns begin to reveal themselves as you turn to face inward to find the light that you are, which is the work that we do here in Spirit Gateway's 21st Century Liberation Roadmap to rediscover the central system, your operating system of your whole self. And as you recognize the paradigm, the matrix, think of it as a geometric design of what you are designed in and what you respond to, how you respond to yourself, others, and life, you begin to get a up close internal connection and external connection to who you are, what motivates you, and what lifts you. If you find that you thrive when you, for instance, think about another and think less of just what you're needing in the moment, and your heart is able to flow. That is a way to recognize a sanskaric pattern. Another way is to pay attention to what you are really afraid of succeeding at, and yet you really want to. And you don't quite understand what holds you back. That ties into a sanskaric pattern. Love is our natural state. Love is the essence, the fuel, the lubricating oil, the life force energy, the sustenance, the core energy, and the light that lives in every cell in your body and creates what you think, how you turn away from your light, intelligence, matrix, design within side of you determines how your life goes. You can look out in the world and wonder, why is there so much violence, so much hatred? How could anybody have that much inside of themselves? It's what happens when we turn away from the love that is inside, and that is a scary word itself. Everyone wants the love, and yet, how do we really find it, live in it, and then manifest our life in that love? How can we become that love? How can we become a magnet for more love to move into our life? How do we give more love? Most of all, how do we end shutting down from that love, that core light, that sustenance, that grace, that power that's really inside of you, inside of all of us? Because that is what we all have in common. You as a soul are made of the molecules, the frequency, the resonance, the notes of love. Love is the universal intelligence, that light intelligence. It has the power to transform what's in the dark, which is the fear inside of each and every one of us. When we shut down to the love inside of ourselves, the reasons can fill up a notebook that has 100 pages in it. We each have our own sanskaric patterns that are unique to us based upon every moment of perceiving and reacting and engaging in a moment of life. It goes all the way back through our childhood into utero. It goes into the cosmos and then into the universal theme of each one of our reincarnations, the incarnation into our body in order to dissolve sanskaric patterns, and we create new ones. So we're always balancing those patterns. We're trying to understand how to be in this world. We are here exploring from lifetime to lifetime every aspect, every nuance of the human self and what makes us us. You are a unique being, and yet you are also a bubble in the sea, awakening to the light that you are. And until you recognize that light that you are as an awakened bubble, you see the ocean, but you don't feel a part of it. You're not one with that ocean. And then one day you awaken to that light, that love within inside of you, and you choose to be in the ocean. It's our choice. It's your choice. It's one of the gifts and the challenges of being human. We can choose. You have that right, you have that power to choose to turn to the love within you and walk that path, or to shut down to it. When you shut down to it, it's coming from the fear of being seen, fear of being ABR'd, abandoned, betrayed, rejected, not wanting to take that risk to really open up. No one wants to consciously set up the situation to be abandoned, betrayed, or rejected. It hurts. Many of the people that I've worked with over the years, and I have a feeling that whether you're aware of it, like consciously connected into what I'm about to say or not, you have a life gusto, a determination inside that may have been tapped or not yet tapped, to be able to give, to show up, and to realize who you are and your place, your position in life. You may be so content going out on a kayak and being with the waves of the sea. You might be someone who needs to go out into the world and go into the very tumultuous waves of the sea and make a difference by possibly calming those waves. Perhaps you're here to ignite those waves, to manifest and multiply opposition in order to bring up truths in the world. Whatever your role is, whether you are the peacemaker, the lover, the leader, the initiator, the igniter, the healer, whatever role you are, the visionary, the doer, or perhaps you've been sleeping and you don't mind sleeping, and yet you're curious and you don't know how to quite wake up. Close your eyes and you look for one speck of light inside of you, just one speck, one flame, and be willing to acknowledge, recognize that that spark inside of you, inside of your body, inside of your heart, has a directional path for you. It's your path. It's your higher path. And the intellect mind can only take you so far. The only way to communicate truly to the universal intelligence, that infinite intelligence, God, the oneness, is from the heart, from that spark of love, from that spark of light. But the risk is high because you have to be willing to lose yourself. And if you're spending your whole life trying to become something, to be seen as something, rather than fully emerging from that self-centered place, instead of being centered in self, you lose the ability to open the door to be able to walk through into the love that you are. Inside of you is an infinite, vast terrain. And that terrain is made up of different planes of consciousness. Your consciousness, you choosing to close the door to the love inside or to open up to it, and even just meditate on the love. Find that love inside of you and make that leap into receiving that love inside and letting it crack you open. A lot of fears begin to come up. It's only the love inside of you that can tenderly embrace that love. Underneath the fear is shame, the humiliation that we all experience at some point in this life and also in previous lifetimes when you really see how judgmental mankind can be. It's painful. You are being called to be willing to end how you judge yourself and to end how you shut down to love. We can only give power to our anger, give power to excessive greed and lust, give excessive power to arrogance, and get all caught up in the way that we want to do something, the way that I want, because I need to know that I exist through what I want, and I'm going to get that, right? That's part of ourself. And then it doesn't matter what really comes back. It doesn't really feed us, feed you. And you realize that something's really missing inside, and what's really missing is that love. Your story of your past is precious and must be recognized and honored, acknowledged, and then to dive in to how have you dealt with your story? How did you close to the love within inside of yourself? When did it no longer feel safe to keep that door open? We live in a world where there is so much insecurity within the self because we keep growing further away from ourself and from the truth of life, the essence of the earth, life itself, and what we can learn through feeling the love. And those moments when a butterfly flies right by you and its wings almost touch your face, or a hummingbird flies right up to your chest as though it wants to give your heart a kiss. And all those moments that the divine is throwing you a kiss. And the source of God is right there inside of you, always talking to you. And as you sit or walk, dance, wash dishes, stand in the shower, and feel, listen, take in, go inside, lose yourself to feel that love. And you open up to that symphony of love within inside of you, and you take it in. You create your life from it. You decide to talk to the people in your life from that place of connection to the love that you are. It's not what you know that's important. It's how you are in relationship to love itself. All of us want to be seen as someone important or just good at what we do. And as we begin to let go of that desire, that need to be seen as something, and instead to open the door in ourself to the love that is there inside, we choose a different path. It is the path of love that takes you all the way into the source within you where you originate from. And as you connect in, grok into that place and live from that original connection, life begins to catapult. It's like a snowball getting bigger. Your awareness grows. Synchronistic experiences happen more rapidly when you call in that love, that source of love into your life and ask it to help you in the moment. That source of love will respond. It will always show up when we open the door and we end shutting it away, thinking that all the ways that we've proven ourselves, all the ways we push to do things right, and there's still things that don't work out. So I'm inviting you to practice this week, keeping the door open to you. You have to slow it down. You have to make it safe inside and make a vow, commitment to be the door opener to you, to receive that love that's waiting inside of you, to feed you, to really nurture you and give back to you so that you are breathing it in. You're absorbing it. You're taking in what seems invisible and allowing that love to move through every joint, every muscle, every tendon, every bone, your flesh, your lungs, your heart, your stomach, your liver, your spleen, your kidneys, all of the bones in your body. And open your hands to receive the love that is deep inside the core of you. Here I invite you to come join us in the Spirit Gateway's Evolutionary Empowerment Global Village membership and be welcomed into the mentoring program and experience all the teaching videos that work with every aspect of your life, giving you the tools and the pathway into living from the love that you are. You can check out the membership program at my website, ayanalahi.com, IANALAHI.com, and holding you in deep love until next time. This is Ayana Lahi. Have a wonderful week.